If you have listened to me in some of my earlier videos, you may have found me castigating youngsters, especially for the fact that they may not be reading much, and for some other things like work ethic and this and that. But I happened to check this little piece of news in today's newspaper, and this is related to legal processes once again. And I can tell you this that if youngster or any other person for that matter, including myself, were to read something like this, I think I would be thoroughly disgustingly discouraged to live in India. That's right. That's a very strong statement, but that's right. And this little piece also explains why youngsters want to migrate to places like Australia, Canada, US, and so on. Obviously, I mean, Indians have been attracted to the US and some other Western countries for a really long time, but we know that these days more number of youngsters are going to Canada and the US for studies, and then they stick around over there and do not want to quite come back to India. And this is one such case. So what is this case all about? Hold on, let me show you the piece. You should read this. You should read this. Even though I am saying it is discouraging, but you should read this. You should read what the hell is going on, and you know how people are framed, and how they become a part of such long tedious judicial processes. For what? So I'm showing you this piece, just hold on. So here's that piece. Judge's testimony can't weigh more than peons. High Court junks 85-year-old's conviction. No, it's not about the age of the person involved over here. The name of the person is Mr. Akbarali Sayyed. No, it's not about his age, it's not about his name, it's not about this or that. What this is about is, this is a case of 1991. That's right. The first time this case was kind of registered or kind of filed in the courts was 1991, and today is May 2024. Do you believe that? More than 30 years? Of course, the person wasn't in prison, though of course this was a criminal offense. Thankfully, he wasn't in prison for any of this time, I believe. At least that's what this little thing indicates, this piece indicates. So this guy was framed by a judge of a lower court, and then the case went on for so long, and now obviously high court has rightly judged, or rightly expressed its opinion and judgment and observation in this particular case. And Mr. Akbar Ali Sayyed is out of danger, I would say, it seems. But it's amazing. So if it is 34 or 35 years old case, just imagine. So at that point in time, Mr. Sayyed must have been just about 51 or 52, something like that, and now he's 85. Is that how things happen? Is that the judicial process? Is that is just amazing. So I'm pretty sure that any youngster who is reading this would be filled with horror, no less. And he or she might want to just on the basis of something like this, let's say you urge this youngster to read newspapers, or to keep himself or herself abreast of happenings around us or in our country, and he or she picks up this newspaper and the eyes rove around and fall on this piece of news, and the youngster uh, reads this little piece, and I wouldn't be surprised that he or she would make up his or her mind and just run away at the first opportunity, right? Might not even want to evaluate which college he or she is applying to. No, this youngster would just run away at the first opportunity, and then manage his or her affairs over there. That's that's the state of things. That's how bad it is. Unfortunate, actually. And then when we talk about judicial reforms and this and that, people don't want to. I mean, there are people from the opposition or even from the judiciary who feel that who feel offended by such a suggestion that judiciary needs to be reformed. The other day, I was watching President Murmu's address in some seminar or conference where Mr. Uh, Chandrachud, the Chief Justice, was also present, and President Murmu made the same point that how long will you make people suffer in the name of justice, and why is it such a weak process, even though so much has been laid down to give justice to people who are genuine victims, or who are genuinely affected by certain things. And then day before yesterday, I happened to check another video by Advocate Ashwini Upadhyay. He posts a lot of these videos on legal matters on YouTube and on political matters also. And he was talking about reforms in the legal processes, and he also had the same opinion that how long does it take to you know wrap up a case of any sort, for that matter. He talked about a lot of things, actually, but one of the things that he mentioned was obviously that if a case has been filed from the date of filing, or from the date of accepting, I don't know, when you file a case, when does it get accepted and so on. But he said the process should get over in 1 year's time. That should be the time frame for things to get over if it enters the legal system. And that is when one can say that justice is dispensed, or you know the affected people or the victims are protected from things. But once once damage has happened, and then the judicial process takes years like this, 30 years, more than 30 years. It's just the most insane thing. Do read this and let me know what you feel. I can't wrap my head around it. I really can't wrap my head around it. As much as I like India, and as much as I feel like living here and doing things, I'm not surprised, and I wouldn't judge youngsters who step out of this country just to lead a normal, good life, whatever that life is, right? But they may not have to face this sort of horror. Or maybe, who knows, these things may happen in some other countries also. It's possible. Uh, we are not, we're not going into, or we practically cannot go into every country's processes and every single case that takes place over there. I'm sure there are, even in the best of legal systems, weird things do happen, as they happen in every aspect of life, uh, anywhere for that matter. So yeah, but this is it. Uh, you have to read this. It's quite a thing. In fact, having read this, now I almost feel like Mr. Akbar Ali Sayyed, and listening to him firsthand as to how he dealt with all these things for all these years, because I'm sure some or the other summons, notices, this or that, may have been issued to him, and at different points in time, and every single time uh, he would have to reply in certain way or appear in the court whenever the court would hear the case. I do not know how many times it has been heard in the courts, and just the most amazing thing this morning. This morning, I can't wrap my head around it, but that is that. You have a good day, and do let me know what you think about this. Do read the piece. I urge you to read this, and then maybe write to me if you can. Thank you.